This is day 6 of my self-isolation solo MOOGFEST. In the past few days I've looked at my synths, I've looked at the Voyager, the Mini Moog, Sub 37, Grandmother and the Mother 32, and now moving on to my Moogerfoogers, the Phaser, Ring Mod, Cluster Flux, Delay and the MIDI Murph. And today I'm going to be taking a look at the Phaser. So here we have the Moogerfooger Phaser, the 103. So let's just go through a few of the sort of functions of it, just show you how it works. Just turn everything down for now. So we've got just a single sawtooth coming out of the Grandmother. It's going through the phaser at the minute. Turn on bypass. First thing you notice is that it's got like a nice drive circuit on this. Well, they all have. So that's not doing anything because it's bypassed, but. So yeah, you can get a really nice thick tone from it without sort of phasing anything. But I'll just show you how the phaser works. So you've got the sweep here. The sweep indicates the sort of center frequency of the phasing effect. And the phasing effect's got 3 dips when it's on 6 stage, and it's got 6 dips when it's on 12 stage. And I'll play them both in a second. So to get that sort of phasey effect, you just move through the frequencies, and obviously to do that automatically you need an LFO. So you've got the LFO rate and the amount. So the amount increases how much you twist in the sweep knob, and the rate obviously increases the speed of the LFO. And if I turn the resonance up, you'll get more of a peak at the center frequency, which makes the phasing effect more obvious. And we've got a low and a high rate switch. So you can go into all sorts of mad, crazy effects there. But of course, if we're using the LFO to do that crazy sort of effect on the sweep, in order to do this, I've put the CP251, the control processor for the Moogerfoogers in, and I'm going to use that LFO now to sweep this manually. So it's got 2 LFOs on the sweep. All sorts of craziness. But what I quite like doing is putting this onto a square. So what you heard in the intro. Gives a sort of nice sequency effect. If I try that with a slow rate, you can get all sorts of nice, interesting rhythmic patterns. Almost sort of sample and holdish. So taking that back out again. Let's have a listen to the 12 stage. And this is much more of sort of a special effect, I suppose, really. All from some nice simple tones, really good, isn't it? It's also got a separate out, an auxiliary out, which gives an inverted phase or an inverted signal. So let's just plug that in. Okay, I'm recording this in stereo now. Let's put it on the low. So yeah, sort of stereo, but not really. One's the inverse of the other. The auxiliary is the inverse of the main. Still nice though. Pretty unique effect. As far as the CV and the inputs go, you've got the audio out, like I showed earlier with the OGs out, but you've got a sweep in and an LFO out, so it actually works as a separate LFO for you as well. And you've got sweep, resonance, rate, and amount, which are effectively sweep, resonance, rate, and amount. So you can affect all those with pedals or CV inputs. Let's get it the right way up, shall we? Pretty cool, yeah, so great that you've got a separate LFO out. And I've been putting the sweep in to there. If you put the sweep into this one, you get two separate sweeps on each of the 6 phases. So let's try that. Let's try it on a square as well then. That's a slightly different effect. You've not got one sweep that you're adding to with the square, but you've got 2 independent ones. And just to show the LFO output, the amplitude of the LFO is independent of the amount knob here, which is a little bit of a shame. It means you can't use it as a separate LFO. But if you've got a CP251 like I have, or any other attenuator, you can obviously adjust the amplitude. Let's just try that quickly as I'm sitting here doing stuff. Handy to have in the CV arsenal though, and what's even handier are these cables. 3mm on one end, 6mm on the other. Really handy. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, or maybe even pop over to my Patreon page and support the channel there. So that concludes day 6. Day 7 will be the ring mod.